ladies. Okay, welcome back to those of you that are new and to my seasoned listeners. We are going to navigate midlife and menopause with more ease, confidence, and strength. And today I am going to give you the down and dirty on Forever Young, a new science-based strategy for aging well by Dr. Gabrielle Lyon. And wow, she is a force to be reckoned with, let me tell you. So I love these book reviews because, like I said, I read a ton of books, and you're going to get basically the nuts and bolts of the book within 20 minutes. And then you can decide if you would like to read more of it. So here we go. Okay. I want you to know that if you have been feeling tired, achy, or stuck in your body lately, because I hear that from a lot of women, okay? And maybe you've tried, you're stuck in the old dogma of cutting calories or doing more cardio, which is so 1990s, okay? And you're not seeing results, you're frustrated, this book just might spark what you need. Okay, so it's not a diet book. It's not about shrinking and getting smaller and being thin. It's about getting stronger in every way, and which is something I have been really talking about for years. I've been a personal trainer for over 3 decades, nutritional counseling, sleep and recovery coach, massively passionate about getting women stronger and healthier, lean and mean fighting machines, right? And not just thin. Thin is not in. Okay, we want to be strong. Okay, so let's dive into the book today. So why does this book matter for you in midlife? Okay, now I would hope that anybody who is younger, like, start today. Doesn't matter what old or what age. It doesn't matter. You're not too old, you're not too young. Just start, okay? So, but if you haven't and you are in midlife, I cannot emphasize enough how much it is for you to start weight training now. So just before I dive in, Dr. Gabrielle Lyon is a functional medicine doctor who's, brave enough to go out there and really spark up a conversation, and she's changing the conversation around health, especially for women. And her really big idea is muscle is the organ of longevity. And I mean, I've been saying that for a long time. A lot of people have, but that she is going balls to the wall and really promoting and educating and empowering women. So muscle is the organ of longevity. Let that sink in. Okay. We're often told that fat is the problem. Right. And so, you've heard me say before, like, I don't want you to focus on losing weight, because you don't want to lose muscle and bone. And, um, and sometimes instead of thinking of losing fat, okay, we want to think of building muscle, which will also help to shrink fat, but it just changes that mindset. All right. So, we're often told fat is the problem. Or, I don't even think people say that. I just think they say weight is the problem. All right. Or that aging means that we're going to get weaker, slower, and sicker. That's not true. Okay. And Dr. Gabrielle Lyons flips that narrative. She says the real problem is muscle loss, and it's totally preventable. So if you listen to last week's episode, we did the book Aggressive Health with his 3 principles, which changed my life 20 years ago. It's a very powerful episode. And the first takeaway is that you are the CEO of your health. Nobody's going to do you unless you do it. Okay. It's up to you. It's up to you. All right. So, which is what she's saying here, that we have the ability to build muscle no matter what age you are. So we need to avoid this muscle loss. And this is huge for us huge for us in midlife. I had a tooth taken out a while ago, and sometimes my tongue gets stuck in there and I slur my words. So I'm sorry. Anyway, this is huge for us in midlife to keep that muscle on, because around perimenopause, menopause, we just naturally start to lose muscle faster, right? Our hormones are shifting. You've heard me say this a lot. Our metabolism is slowing, and what worked in our 30s just doesn't work anymore. It just doesn't. All right. So instead of giving up, this book really shows us a new path where strength is the goal. Like, she really talks about how to get strong, which I'm going to give you the ins and outs today. And that protein is your friend. I can tell you that we are not eating enough protein. Protein builds you. And, you know, I taught my Age Strong and mobile class today and really said to the ladies, like, if you have a car and it has no oil, it's not going to run properly. Okay. So we need to have all of the elements in our body to function properly. And if we're not getting the right micronutrition and protein, etc., our bodies cannot build, right? So nutrition is so important. All right. So strength is our goal. Protein is our friend, and aging doesn't mean decline. It means opportunity. Okay. We have more time. We have more time for ourselves, especially if our kids are grown up. So, and you know what? Time is an interesting subject. So I'm just going to leave it at that. If it's important to you, you will find the time. All right. So what are some key takeaways from Forever Strong? Muscle is medicine. Muscle is medicine. So muscle isn't just for athletes or bodybuilders, which I always say to you guys, like, I just want to be in the Olympics of life. That's what I say to you guys. This is my Olympics of life. And today I said to my group, you know, pick your heart, right? Because we were doing push-ups and we were, you know, I was really teaching them how to do a push-up, and some of them could not. And it's challenging to teach yourself how to do a push-up. So we're going to break that down, not in here, but in my classes. But I said, this may be hard, but it's hard when you fall down and you can't get up, or it's hard when you're not healthy, or it's hard when you don't have energy, or it's hard when you break a bone and then you have a osteoporotic hip fracture. Okay. So it's not easy. This takes time and effort, but we need to build the muscle. Right. And so that's my Olympics of life, is that I want to feel strong every single day. And it's my metabolic engine. It's what runs me. It controls blood sugar. It supports our immune system. It balances our hormones. It protects our bones and joints. Like, it is powerful. And so Dr. Gabrielle Lyon says that many of the chronic conditions we associate with aging, like type 2 diabetes and osteoporosis and Alzheimer's, are tied to low muscle mass. Let that sink in for a minute. Okay. Diabetes, osteoporosis, even Alzheimer's, tied to low muscle mass, from a doctor telling us this. So we build more muscle, we get more life. And that's your choice. And are you going to take action? You decide. Okay. Protein is non-negotiable. So let's talk about food, especially protein. Oh my gosh. Okay. I've done episodes on this. I have a freebie about protein at breakfast. There's a lot of resources out there. We talk about this in my midlife reboot. Okay. It's something where right now, my midlife reboot, we are using the next couple of weeks to, again, really micro focus on what we're eating, because what happens is we do this every few months. We get in, we get back in, and then we're like, yes, 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 we're meeting all of our targets. And I like to do it at the beginning of every season, because you change your foods, right? And so we sit down, we really look, what am I missing? What vitamins, what micronutrients, how can I balance this? What's my energy like? And we take all of this data and then we go, okay, how can I start to implement some changes, right? And so that's what we're currently doing in my Midlife Reboot program. So it is really important to take that time. You know, I've said to you in the last previous episodes where you have to collect the data on yourself, right? And then you have to be able to look at that data and go, okay, what am I doing from here? What does my body need more of? And a lot of us need more protein. Okay. So as we age, our bodies become really like less efficient at using protein to build muscle and repair muscle, which means we need more protein, not less. All right. And the other thing that I'm noticing with women, when I get their daily intakes, is that it's kind of okay in the morning, kind of okay in the afternoon, and then it tends to be heavier. And what studies have shown, and it's in her book as well, is that it's better off having an even amount. So like 30 at breakfast, 30 at lunch, 30 at dinner, snacks if you're snacking. If you're not snacking, you got to increase that more. Okay, so Dr. Lyon really recommends aiming for at least 30 grams of protein per meal, right? Which is what I just said, especially at breakfast. So even in my Midlife Reboot program, we always start with breakfast, because when you get a protein dense breakfast, I cannot tell you, but it really helps to stop the cravings later in the day. You feel satiated, your moods are more even, and all this kind of stuff. So it also jumpstarts your metabolism and signals your body to preserve muscle. All right. So it's not about like these, my book just fell. It's not about high protein fad diets. It's about meeting your body's needs. And honestly, most of us aren't even close. So this is not a fad diet. It is not a fad diet. It's just a basic fact that we need protein so protein, is there 20 or 22 amino acids? Anyway, it's roughly in that area. And these little amino acids build up and make proteins. And 9 of these amino acids we have to get through the diet because the body does not make them. So they're called essential amino acids. Okay, so we need to make sure we're getting enough. And in my midlife reboot, we really break down, because there's some proteins to make sure that we're getting more of, like leucine, and we talk about the foods and how much we need, and we actually do the work and we find it out. So again, if you're completely lost, join me. All right, I have it all there for you, save you hours and hours of time. So if you're starting your day with toast or cereal, try eggs, Greek yogurt, okay, or a protein shake. So that one change can make a huge difference. And I've talked about this for years. I changed my breakfast, I don't know, probably 10, 15 years ago. I've lost track of time. Massive, massive game changer. Okay, so number 1 was muscle is medicine. We need our protein. It's non-negotiable. And then what do you think number 3 is, everybody? I bet you know. Yell it out so I can hear you. Yes, strength training is essential. You cannot dodge this one. So, when I speak with women, they're doing tons of yoga and stretching, and that's great, but you need to add in more resistance than your body weight. So when your body weight, when you can handle, start doing body weight, you have to add more so that you're building your muscle and your bones. Okay. So we need to add weights into our day. So you might hear that as resistance training. A lot of people are doing cardio, and it has its place. Okay. But it's the muscle building exercises that give you strength, stability, and energy, and protect your joints. All right. So a couple episodes back, I really talked about the musculoskeletal syndrome. Okay. So go back and listen to that one. So Dr. Lyon recommends 2 to 4 days a week of resistance training. And that can be lifting weights, using resistance bands, doing body weight movements like squats and push-ups, right? So lots of things you can do. And, if you want to pay and have somebody help you, I am here. My programs are here. I have videos online that you can do. There's no excuse. And if you are making excuses, let's dive into those and see if we can get you over the next little hump here. Okay. You will not bulk up. You will not bulk up. Okay. You will not bulk up. We don't have enough testosterone in our body. You're not going to lift heavy enough weights, but you are going to feel firm and strong. You're going to feel toned, balanced, and you're going to feel alive and vibrant and happy. God, it's so good for your mood as well. Okay. Which brings me to my next point, is mindset, right? We're not getting older. We're getting stronger. I cannot tell you how many people I'm seeing in their 80s that are kicking butt lately. They've just decided they want to get strong, and it's amazing. And all it is just a mindset shift, a mindset shift. You've got to stop listening to the narrative that is that when you're getting older, all of these things start to happen. Okay. It might be normal, but it's not, it doesn't have to happen. Okay. It does not have to happen. You do not have to be part of that trend. You start doing things differently. So whatever it is, and you're new to it, I just want you to start with adding protein to your meals, start with lifting weights. And your future self will thank you. And I will do an episode on that because after listening to a lot of people, one of the biggest things is really in the moment, actually doing the work instead of putting it off. And I know that it can be really challenging for people to do it in the moment, right? And to thank your future self later. But there's some mindset tweaks, and I've talked about a lot of them in past episodes. But if you're struggling with that, let me know. So, mindset shift is huge. Think of getting stronger instead of getting older. And instead of seeing aging as decline, right? Dr. Lyon really shows us that we can get stronger at any age. So this isn't about shrinking to fit in. It's about expanding to live more fully, more freely, to move more freely, and to feel more empowered and vibrant. And I know that when you're stronger, you feel that. Because when I start to lift heavier weights, I feel it. Okay, I feel something that is so, oh my goodness, it's just such a good feeling. Definitely more self-confidence. All right. So, you can read the book by all means, but that pretty much sums up what she talks about. She gets into some studies, she gets into some technical things, she gives you some ideas of some meal plans. And so if you want to pick it up, you can do that. Or if you're needing more support, you can join my Midlife Reboot and just email me at tanya@moveyourbody.ca. That's Tanya, Tanya, at moveyourbody.ca, and I'm happy to help you. So I recommend it, but here's the thing about reading books, or even listening to me. It's one thing to get this information, it's another thing to put it into action. Okay. Where's the disconnect between gathering all this information and then actually putting it into action? And I will say on my Midlife Reboot program, we take information and then we put it into action, and we're held accountable and we're motivated to make changes. All right. So this book, like I said, is full of practical strategies, but you got to make sure you do them. It also validates so many of the things that I say, that I've learned on my journey, that I've seen in the journey of my clients. So it makes me feel good that I'm on the right track with everything that I'm doing. It's time to let go of that narrative of we've been told for so long to eat less and move more and accept aches and pains and fatigue and, blah as normal, but it's not. Okay. So it's not about doing anything less. It's not about eating less. It's about doing things differently. It's about moving differently, eating differently, thinking differently. So more strength training, more protein, more support. And if you're feeling overwhelmed, don't worry, you don't have to change anything overnight. Remember, the motto is progress, not perfection. You start with one small step. So I'll give you 3 little steps right here, okay? Just add 1 little bit of extra protein with your breakfast. So if you are still a cereal eater, that's okay. Add a hard-boiled egg. Simple shift, okay? If you are new to weightlifting, go and get some 5-pound, 8-pound, 10-pound. I do want you lifting heavier, and you will, but just try one strength workout this week. So maybe you're just using body weight and you're holding a rock or a bottle of laundry detergent. Okay. Listen, I can get creative. Just pick up something heavier. So try a strength training workout this week, or just read this book and it will inspire you, or listen to some more of my podcast episodes. And the more you inundate yourself, you change how you think. And the more you see people that are your age or older living how your future self wants to live, it starts to integrate into your awareness. Okay, so I want to be an inspiration to all of you that I have made changes, that I feel better. I'm not going to say that it's been easy, but I will definitely say that it has been totally worth everything. Okay, I would not want to be where I was 10, 20 years ago. No way. Okay. So I know that I'm stronger. Even the last couple of years, I cannot tell you how much I've changed. It's just been incredible. All right. So there's your protein tip, your muscle tip, and your mindset shift. So this book reminds us that midlife isn't the end of something, it's the beginning of a new chapter, one where you get to feel strong, vibrant, and in control again. So if you're curious, grab a copy of her book, Forever Young. And if you want help putting the concepts into practice, that's what I'm here for. Okay, I am here to help you take information and put it into action. And if there's a friend of yours that would love to hear this information, I, from my heart to yours, would love for you to share my podcast, leave me a comment. Anything, because getting this information out into the world is absolutely necessary. Enough women don't know about it. Okay. And I have a big heart. I'm full of compassion. But I'm also here to make you hit your goals. Okay. So that you're strong and vibrant. All right, ladies, thank you so much for listening. I hope that this book review gave you a fresh perspective and reminded you of just how powerful you are. And remember, you are not broken. You are not done. You are just getting started. All right. So stay strong and keep showing up for yourself. Big hugs. I love you. And I will see you in the next video.